Hey everyone, it is Mark Senna here, the commissioner of the M Street Softball League. We're here to discuss the pitching rules. Before I get into that, the modified pitch softball game, when it's played correctly, is one of the best games around because it featured hitters, some decent pitching, and some good defense. It brought all three aspects into one game and was enjoyed by many. Unfortunately, the modified game has also been a place where so much controversy has happened over the years. And it all surrounds the pitching rules and the interpretation of those pitching rules. It's been that way, I think, since day one. The rules are adopted from the slow pitch and some from the fast pitch, and you're trying to make up this medium in the middle, and doesn't appear to always be this clear-cut one method of pitching. It's not one size fits all. It just doesn't work that way. The USA Softball Organization, ASA, USSSA, NSA, all these different softball organizations, at some point in time, they've changed the rules that they use to call pitchers illegal, legal, or not. So it basically all it comes down to in the end is tournaments will decide ahead of time what is going to be legal and what's illegal. And it's the same for leagues. You may play 15 years in one league and pitch a certain way, and then your same pitcher goes to another league and he's called illegal. Is that saying that that league doesn't, the second league, do they not know the rule book or they don't know what they're talking about? No, it's your style of pitching is not accepted in that league. They've adopted a different set of modified pitching rules. Back in the 70s, when the softball boom exploded, and what happened is you had guys learned how to, I don't want to say bend the rules, but they took advantage of loopholes in the rules and got better and faster. And suddenly, every team was looking for that advantage. So they were finding these pitchers now that were more, upright. They weren't bending at the waist. They're more sling style. So then the rules changed to control that, and it just was like this cat and mouse game that continues to this day in the modified game. It really does. Everybody thinks it's cut and dry, but it really isn't. It all depends on what you want to emphasize, what points you want to key on, and where you draw the line. And where M Street Softball is going to draw the line is going to be the height of the backswing. If you open up the USA Rulebook for 2023, I believe it is page 65, Rule 3, Section F, position of the ball. We're no longer playing 9-player, we're playing 10-player, so it's part 2. And it says the ball must not be outside the pitcher's wrist on the backswing, at the top of the backswing, on the downward motion, or during the complete delivery. Guys, I've physically tried to bring the ball above my head going back, and it's impossible. It is physically impossible without rotating my shoulder joint to get my arm above my head. And when I rotate my shoulder joint, the ball for a millimeter of a second is pointing towards third base, which is illegal, which is impossible for our umpires to catch. It's impossible. They'll never see it. When we talk about the ball outside the wrist pointing towards third base, it happens so quickly, they'll never be able to call it. The only way we can call it is by limiting the backswing. It's how they do it in Pennsylvania. It's going to be how we have to do it at M Street. It's the only way that gives our umpires a chance to call illegal pitches and to keep everybody in line. So moving forward, we have a couple of pitchers who bring the ball above their head. They're going to have to go straight back, and that's it. It's going to be shoulder height, straight back, and straight forward. That has to be where the line is drawn. For the pitchers that bend at the waist and then their arm comes above their head, that's acceptable. There are some blatant things like stepping back off the mound, not being in touch with the mound. Of course, those things should be called illegal, and we'll instruct the umpires to call those. But moving forward, by restricting the backswing, I think that's going to eliminate the majority of our arguments here and get us back to just playing softball and letting the outcome of the game be settled on the field instead of on Facebook and arguments and text and all this other nonsense.